Monday on Home and Family. Smollett Eats stars Jake and Jazz Smollett are making their mom's family-style lasagna. Plus, Orly is turning boring hampers into statement laundry baskets.
He is a successful entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, and a best-selling author. He's here today. We're glad he is, because we have a lot of questions for him. His new book is called Taking Point. Please welcome former Navy SEAL Brent Gleeson.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
First
you.
of all, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for your family service.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Now, can you please help me so I can serve my family better? That's why you're here.
I'm still figuring it out, just so we set the stage right there.
So this is a great book because I love, first of all, the mentality of Navy SEALs. I've always respected their discipline and their ability to just push through and deal with stuff. But also there's also another side to them that is about cooperation and spirit and commitment and dedication. So the book is about teaching leadership skills within your family. This is also about business, but we're going to focus on family. What kind of principles are we talking about here?
Well, in large part, when we talk about leadership in any high-performance team dynamic, so a highly functioning family, in my opinion, it really starts with alignment, especially when you're talking about two leaders in a family. Of course, in my family, there's a hierarchy. My wife, Nicole, is the commanding officer. So I still have not escaped having a commanding officer.
Appreciate that.
There they
Nicole's
are.
right here. Thank you, Nicole, for your service.
I am second in command, I believe. My children would argue that sometimes. But oftentimes, you know, we're all married and children and finding alignment, not just on the long-term vision of the family and your purpose and your goals, but in those micro moments where you're engaging in conflict resolution.
Right.
We'll call it that.
Yeah.
Or trying to overcome certain obstacles.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, one of my friends in college, his dad said, boys, someday you guys are going to be married and you'll have two choices. You'll either want to be right or you'll want to be happy.
Right.
Choose well. So if you want to find alignment, just do what Mama says.
Yeah, there you go.
So you have something that's called a foundation of pillars. You talk extensively in the book about this, and one of them is investing in respect, and the other one is authentic empowerment. How do investing in respect and authentic empowerment actually play into having a successful home and being a great parent?
Yeah.
And the book is largely about not just leadership and culture, but leading through change.
Right.
So leading transformation and changing dynamics. And when you can create a culture in your family of respect and mutual trust through consistency, you know, words matching actions, fulfilling promises, then you can engage in respectful conflict when resolutions need to be found when you're trying to overcome any type of obstacle in a family situation. But also, authentic empowerment really goes to the leaders of the family, the parents, empowering your children to take on roles and responsibilities that will help them mature, help with their emotional maturity and their ability to grow as people, and not making it inauthentic empowerment where you're saying, well, you know, I'm going to give you this this job, this role, you know, these chores, and then micromanaging them, but actually giving them the opportunity to fail, the opportunity to make mistakes, using those as learning
how early
moments.
are we talking?
As early as possible.
When you can still defeat them.
Right. The passage out of the mouth? It's
Now, with the 2- and 4-year-old Parker Rose and Ryder, it doesn't always work as planned, but you just got to keep at it.
How crazy is that? Your baby has the same name,
Parker
Parker
Rose.
Rose, as Mark's baby.
It's wonderful.
Clearly, we have great taste.
So there you go. Exactly. We know who to listen to. I listen to Kim because, you know what, I see what you've done with Hunter, you and Jerry, because he's such a fine young man. But I know that you have, I know you have questions.
Yeah, you know, listen, you know, my son's way taller than me and bigger than me, and but Jerry and I raised him with a lot of discipline, but not super strict, because we really trusted him, and he never did anything up to this point to betray that trust. But I still would like to know, being his mother, what can I do in a disciplinary way for me to be a better leader? For me to lead my son in a better way.
That's a great question.
And it's kind of ironic because being a former SEAL, people assume that I'm the dictator of the family. I'm lead with an iron fist, and I'm actually the softie. And Nicole's like, you need to be tougher on the kids.
Yeah, and you've never met my husband.
You really need to instill more discipline in our children.
I know.
I'm like, yeah, so kind of got to lean back into those SEAL principles and remember, okay, this is where I come from. We can really instill these core values and principles in our children, especially when it comes to discipline and focus and follow through. But of course, in any leadership dynamic, it starts with us as parents. We don't always get it right. You know, we get distracted by competing priorities in life in general, and but when we can be consistent in our self-discipline, whether it be in wellness, health, fitness, our work, the way we approach the family dynamic or conflict resolution, when we're consistent, that builds trust, and it also shows them in a lead by example type of model that it
And
gives
a
them that
security,
absolutely.
don't you think?
Absolutely.
It's funny that you bring up, you being more of the softie and your wife kind of, that kind of leads me into thinking about family conflict, because the other day maybe I said to my husband, like, you have to discipline her, and like, conflict arose because I felt like I was always being the bad guy. Our daughter's 2 and really testing her boundaries right now. And so what about, I know we've talked a little bit about that, but is there like a specific process for dealing with family conflict?
Well, for example, in the SEAL teams, after every real-world mission, you're going to perform an after-action review. In the business world, you call that a post-mortem. Basically, as soon as you get back from that mission, you drop your gear, you go into a room, and in theory, you try at least to leave rank and emotion at the door, so you can engage in what I refer to as respectful conflict. But again, you have to have mutual respect and trust as part of that family dynamic to have that ability to engage in respectful conflict. Again, when you're trying to have those conversations with 2 and 4-year-olds, you'll get derailed. But it all starts between the spouse, between you and your spouse. And of course, going back to alignment, before you do that, even if it's for 2 seconds, getting aligned behind closed doors to make sure that you come in as a strong, united front to your children, because as we know, they try to divide and conquer. Try to put that wedge in there, and then they're master manipulators.
If I lay down the hammer already at not even 2, she runs, Daddy!
Of course. Alexander, same thing. Same thing. And then mommy ends up looking like the bad guy, and daddy's all the fun. I'm like,
this all sounds so familiar.
Orally.
So you talk a lot about sort of creating a mission statement for your family and having a mission statement. And I think, I love the idea so much, and I get so overwhelmed with the fact that, I'll constantly be failing at the mission statement. I almost want to create one, because then I've got a barometer to notice how I've failed at it.
I failed again today.
Any advice?
Well, if you think about it, any high-performance team you've ever been a part of, whether it's sports, whether it's military, in the workforce, any high-performance organization always has a very clearly defined mission narrative, a mission statement, vision statement, even a culture and purpose statement. So everybody understands exactly what we collectively are trying to achieve. And it gives you something to emotionally connect to. So even in the family dynamic, and we didn't even really start thinking about doing this till in the recent past few years of, hey, why don't we do this in our own family? Why don't we have a mission statement and a culture statement, and something that we can always cling to, fall back on, and point to when we're rewarding positive behavior that aligns with that mission statement, when we're sometimes doling out some punishments when things get mostly me being punished for stupid choices and decisions. So I have to reflect back on the mission statement to lean back into what we're trying to accomplish. But when you can articulate the family's goals, such as ours really has to do with love, mutual respect, and loyalty, giving back, but also never giving up. And so instilling resilience as a family dynamic, always giving back to the community. So you're teaching your children also that there's causes out there bigger than ourselves.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You have such amazing insight and information.
I know.
It's all an act.
You were
I
trained
rehearsed well for this.
You were trained well. By that, I mean your wife.
Oh, exactly. You're right.
Right. I suppose discipline is not dropping. Give me 20 then. That's what I was coming from.
All right, let's get up and all do burpees.
Perfect. You can apply Navy SEAL techniques to your own family by just picking up Taking Point. Information is available at hallmarkchannel.com and on Brent's website. The information is there on your screen.
You're wonderful. Please come back.
Yes.
Actually, could you come back once a week, because we might need you. He does need you. You all stick around, because Maria's up next.
Yes, this DIY Christmas tree curtain might look super impressive, but it's actually very easy to make, and I'm going to show you how to do it.